Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome as the XSLR Championship returns to round 15 and the penultimate round of the championship here from the Lernerville Speedway, live and exclusive on Apex Racing TV. Based in Pennsylvania, it's home to one of the most beloved dirt ovals in America, and this 4/10 of a mile clay track hosted its first races all the way back in 1967. I'm Tim Cox, got Jonathan Grabowski in the production booth, but right now I'm joined by Adam Thompson. Adam, I was having a bit of a look through the Lernerville website before the show, and they were saying that you're allowed to bring your own cooler, but you're not allowed to bring any alcoholic beverages. But I think from what we've experienced from the dirt ovals so far this season, it's definitely time to, crack open a cold one, or maybe, whatever that takes your fancy drink-wise. Just sit back and enjoy the madness that is about to ensue out on track.
Well, I would like to say, you mentioned that the first race run here was in 1967, and I'm pretty sure they haven't done anything to this track since 1967. If you look at, we're watching Paul Mikolajczyk drive around the track right now, and you can see there's walls in between turn 4 and turn 1, and then after that you're kind of on your own as Paul is getting right up on that lip, which is where you need to be, which is what I wanted to say. That's where it's going to get super dangerous, and people will fly off there. But yeah, you mentioned that that they allow you allow coolers, but they don't allow alcoholic beverages. I don't know if it's like this here at Lernerville, but I know in a bunch of dirt tracks they have these sessions, basically red flag. If there is a red flag out on the track, beer is half off. So you'll see everybody leave the stands just to get to the concession stand as quick as possible before that red flag goes back green again. So yeah, dirt ovals are definitely something to watch. And if you are watching here tonight, this is going to be a fun one. I think probably the best one on the calendar. This track does take quite a bit of skill. But it also takes a lot of patience, and it just depends on how dangerous you want to be, or how quick you want to be, and how close to that edge you want to get. Wow, as Kevin Irwin comes flying out of the pits, almost takes out Eric Whitner.
I think that is just a brilliant advertisement of just how fast, frantic and furious the race is going to be out on track. These dirt midgets, they're Larry at the best of times, and I think we need to place a bet now, really. How long before someone ends up in the forest?
So, yeah, I don't know if you probably didn't get the joke last week when I said, everyone, hopefully they're all bringing their guns and their fishing poles, because they're probably all going hunting and fishing out there in the woods this weekend. But I would say, lap 4, we might see the first person. No, I wouldn't even give it lap 4. I'm taking lap 1.
I was going to say, you're leaving it as late as then. That's a brave man and true faith in drivers out there. It's going to be interesting. We've seen from these cars that they're volatile at the best of times. You know, when a wheelie, regularly you'll see them up on 3 wheels, and yeah, then you add into the spice of oval, a dirt oval that doesn't have walls around the outside for most of it, and that extreme banking, probably one of the most banked circuits of the dirt ovals that we've visited this so far this season, in the whole of the dirt oval racing. Probably a shot there of Mikolajczyk, just how close he's getting up and close and personal to that high line there, as you're saying, Adam, going to be so crucial. It's where the speed is, and I'm sure they're going to be scrapping like mad for that. Just to set you through the format as always, we've got practice just coming to an end right now before we head out into qualifying, and then it'll be into the 10-minute heats, and then into the final, which is a bit longer. We've got safety cars involved in that one, a 30-lap feature event, of course, with that's been a meager 15 to 16 second sort of average time. That's going to be over and done within a flash, and as I said, we've experienced safety cars, so the yellow flag conditions quite a few times in the finals, and I'm sure this is going to be no difference whatsoever here today.
No, it shouldn't be. You can see, actually, we have 11 drivers here. During the driver's brief, about 15 minutes ago, there were about 8, so definitely a better turnout than I figured there would be, which is going to make this even more difficult. So the good part about this track is it's kind of self-clearing. If you make a mistake, you're more than likely going to make the mistake on the outside of the track and run up and over that berm and into the woods. The bad part about this track is it's self-clearing, meaning that if you do run up and over the berm and off into the woods, if you don't hit anything, you can get back out on track. And I did mention, hopefully drivers take heed to this. If they do come back out onto the track, or if you enter the track from the pits, as you can see, as we saw a few drivers come out of the pits and onto the track, that will bring out a yellow flag if anybody's anywhere close. So that's, I think, where we may see some of the yellows this evening, to be honest, is people trying to re-enter the track or come out of the pits and onto the track under green flag conditions. Wow!
Oh! Well, you can tell the session's coming to an end. Everyone using the banking as a ramp there. We head across into qualifying now. The session just transitioning across right there. A bit of a shout out to one of our many sponsors for this series, Dangerous. Dangerous are a top 3D virtualization firm specializing in high-quality 3D product, CAD, rendering, package rendering services, and photorealistic product visuals. They specialize in automotive subjects and have extensive industrial and consumer product design experience. Let them help you virtualize, promote, and communicate your design. Finding more about them by heading across to dangerous.net. That's dangerous, it's double S on the end, .net. So just see Eric Winter getting a bit loud and Larry there through the banking. Surely, we saw a dominant display 3 weeks ago from Trey Gas. He's got to be one of the favourites, surely, here, Adam, to take victory.
Yeah, we got to watch out for Trey. This guy is extremely quick. Excuse me. Wasn't able to be here with us last week. Had a quali ban anyways for jumping the start a few times. We do go on green here, so if he gets his starts correct, he's going to be one to be very careful around. Not very, very careful. You've got to be careful and stay close enough to him, because I haven't seen him in a single one of the practice sessions that have been run in the past 2 weeks, and you can see already he's up there in first place with a 15.77.
You say about going around, we're just watching It's Kevin Irwin there just having around, but it's all happening out on track qualifying 10th, and as close as always. Cars currently setting the fastest time, 15.77. However, Coates and Mikolajczyk, the pair of them within a 10th at that time, but they have completed their qualifying laps, so their times are settled. The drivers only have 2 laps. As you see, Clog here, his time only good enough for 5th. Yet to have Jimmy Howard just on his out lap there. Brendan Huron, he hasn't set a lap. Likewise, Jake Cam, he's just starting his first flying lap.
Yeah, keep an eye out here for Jimmy Howard as well. Has gotten very quick. Look at him running the absolute limit of that lip. He has been getting quicker and quicker in the practice sessions we've done. If he can keep it on that high line, you can definitely tell he might actually have a pretty good lap going here. May be able to break in between Mikolajczyk and Coates, which is a very small margin, but I think he might be able to get it done here. And as well, the same, as you mentioned, there he goes. Woo, he pips Tyler Coates 3/100ths of a second off of Trey Garst. And that is the gap that separates the top 3 right now. Top 4, 3/100ths of a second.
Oh, wow, look at that right at the depth there.
Wow.
Howard sneaks one in there to get up the timing sheets for the fastest time as we just head across to the first heat race of this evening. This is your grid. Howard on pole, Tyler Coates on the front row with him, and then Eric Whitner, Jay Cam on the second row, Mike Sorum and Brendan Huron rounding out your 6-car grid, 8 laps. Hold tight, folks. This is going to get crazy. It's going to get Larry.
Oh, it will. I am definitely looking forward to this. And keep in mind, there are only 11 drivers in the field tonight, so there will be no consolation. So it's going to be hot and heavy coming at you. We're going to have the first 2 heat races. We're going to go straight into the feature.
Indeed, and shout out to another one of our sponsors for this series, Nexus Fab. Nexus Fabrication specialise in metal fabrication and manufacturing for commercial, residential and custom projects, as well as signage, furniture and metal repair work. You can find out more about them by heading across to nexusfab.com. The driver's just lining up right now behind the safety truck, and they'll be taking out on their parade lap before we go green here at Lernerville in Pennsylvania for the first race of this evening. And who will come out victorious? I mean, Jimmy Howard, he's got skin in the game. You know, you were saying a couple of weeks ago how his family have got a winged car that they regularly run. You know, he works for James Perry Race Engines as well.
Yeah, so he's actually a non-winged 360 sprint car.
Apologies.
Yep, Jim Perry, his uncle, is owner, and his late father as well. Jimmy's late father was also part of that team, and they built the engines for that car. And really, the engine is everything, especially when it comes to a non-wing car, because that's really the only thing. As you can see, if you're looking down into Jimmy's cockpit right now, there's really nothing but sheet metal and an engine and 4 tires that hold these cars together. So Jimmy's definitely got some experience with vehicles like this, and it's going to be interesting to see how he can get on with the likes of Tyler Coates and Trey Garst and Mike Sorum back there as well. Don't sleep on him. He knows how to drive a race car around here, with Eric Whitner back there as well. And look at them all. This is the issue. These cars are meant to turn left. So they really don't like turning right, as you can see them all skidding, trying to get the power down to get these cars at least going straight.
Yeah, everyone just making their way out onto the track safely. That's one of the hardest bits to negotiate potentially for them. Wow, 6 cars. It's so crucial to get that jump early on. The reaction to the lights are going to be so crucial to make up places early on. 8 laps over what incredibly quick laps as always in dirt ovals. And who's going to come out on top? Well, we have not long to find out at all here in the first race of the evening. You see Brendan Huron just lagging back a little bit. They're just biding his time, having a bit of a think about things. Watch him mounting attack from the rear. See if he can make his way through the field. This is waiting for the safety truck to pull in. There he goes. And Jimmy Howard in control of the field now. As let's get ready to go racing here at Lernerville. We are away under green flag and wheeling off the start line. But, well, there's contact.
No!
Oh, well, there you go. You said lap 1. And they're out. I called it already.
I called it lap 1, turn 1. I am on fire. But speaking of on fire, watch these two up front between Jimmy Howitt and Tyler Coates. They have had battles and will have battles tonight. They are extremely close in time, so this is going to be a fun race to watch. And Mike Sorum back there looks like he got through the carnage. He might be up catching these guys before you know it, considering that these two are going to be battling the whole time.
Whitner and Ham both into the pits. Howard looking for some speed on the outside line. Get his turn done early so you can get the power down as soon as possible. He's trying to straighten up the corner exit. 6 to go. Howard leads from Coates, Sorum and Huron are the 4 cars left remaining. And our top 2, they're already breaking away. A second clear of Sorum. You can see him in that pink machine just lagging behind a little bit in the 69. As they come negotiate out of turns 3 and 4 and head round into 1 and 2.
Man, these cars never look under control, do they? They are always left and right. They're just constantly, and trust me, I've driven them, they are not ever under control. These guys are making it look a lot easier than it actually is. You can see them swerving back and forth, just trying to keep the car to go straight. It only needs to go straight for a little while, and it won't even do that.
We've got 3 to go. I told you it'd be over and done with in the blink of an eye. Ham and Whitner have both got back out on track.
Wow.
They just have to negotiate on there. That could have been a big incident, but Howard not really being able to make the jump on Coates, despite having to deal with that bit of lap traffic there. And Horan definitely starts to have some gap between himself and Sorum ahead. The white flag flies, 1 lap left to go, and Howard just extending up by a few attempts right now. Just needs to hold on, and he'll be qualifying for the final in prime position. And well, he said it had a bit of a canter. He's made it look nice and easy here.
He has, and I think, whoa, buddy, there somebody goes hunting. Tyler Coates decided that he's going to go try to find himself an elk over there in Pennsylvania. But yeah, so that was, there's the results. I believe Jimmy, Tyler, and Mike were the top 3 in that one, and that was, yeah, it's going to get more intense from there because that was only 6 cars out on track, and we've got 11 in total.
Let's just take you through your Class 5 results. Jimmy Howard winning that first heat. Coates in second. Sorum third. Horan, the last driver on the lead lap, because Ham and Whitner had that collision. Ham just pipping Whitner there to 5th place. And here is your grid for the second heat of the evening. Gast on pole. He's got Mikolajczyk alongside him on that front row. Clog and Irwin, they're on the second row. And Bobby Ross rounding out your 5-car grid here. Wow, I think just trying to take a bit of a deep breath, ready for what's going to be another frantic 8 laps here. Oh, there we go. That was that was Trey Gast nearly putting pay to himself and Mikolajczyk before they'd even got out onto the track.
I'm going to say Trey was playing some mind games there, being like, hey, that's what's going to happen if you try to get around me here, Paul. But no, I'm kidding. I know Trey Garst is a good driver, so only jokes, Trey. Please don't watch the rest of this. Please don't watch this broadcast back. But yeah, this top 2 really, the bottom line. So the track doesn't reset here between Heat 1 and Heat 2. And the bottom line is not where you want to be because all that momentum is around the top. So it really does depend how good of a jump Trey is going to get. As long as he goes on green, it should be pretty close. If Paul gets a good start, he might be able to get Trey here on the exit 2.
Mentioned to another one of our sponsors for this evening's racing, Shears Salon, located in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Shears Salon. If you trust your peers, come to Shears. You can find out more about them by heading across to Facebook and searching for Samantha at Shears Salon. As the pace truck is in, and we get ready to go racing in Heat 2. As here come the lights, and we go green for 8 laps here at Lernerville and Cast. Well, taking that low line, but Mikolajczyk looking for the switchback, not able to quite carry just enough momentum as they both head out to the high side. Cast nearly dipping a wheel there over the top of the banking. He's running it right to the ragged edge.
Yeah, this is exactly how this track needs to be run. If you guys want to know how to run Lernerville, it doesn't matter if you're in a non-winged car or a winged car. That is how you want to do it around the top side of the track. So take some notes, everybody. Watch how Trey Garst runs the top side of this track.
Wow.
Just gets right up to the edge.
He's literally about half a tire's width, isn't he, from the top of the crest. Oh, we've had a spinner in the background. I think that was Bobby Ross there, just losing the rear. And there he is. Yes, heading to the inside, getting the car started again and off. But that's going to put pace to his race. He's surely definitely going to be going home in 5th place in that 33 machine. But Garst still leads from Mikolajczyk. Clog, he's in 3rd. Erwin in 4th, and that's 7. And they're still, well, amazingly, they still remain as they started.
Yeah, I am super impressed, to be honest, that we didn't see another spinner. I'm glad that you asked me that Heat 1, and, you know, I am sorry, Eric, that it happened to you, but, yeah, I would have expected another bit of the same here going into Heat 2, but these guys definitely seem to be keeping these cars on the track, taking it easy. They know this. There are no points involved in these heat races. Just get it around and get to the feature.
Well, with that sort of prediction, surely you need to go and put some numbers down on the state lottery, because if you've got that, you know, that sort of, you know, level right with your predictions, then surely good omens, good chance. But we're on to our final lap here already. Garst leading from Clog. Erwin Mikolajczyk's dropped down a couple of places there at the dev.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there to
Yeah, we didn't quite catch it on camera. We'll get a replay there. Well, there we go, instantaneously. So that is Clog and Mikolajczyk. Is he just going to lose the rear? No. We'll just move across to the next session, but heading straight into our final already. But here is your grid. Howard starting on the front row with Garst. Coates and Clog on the 2nd row with Sorum and Erwin on the 3rd row. Then we've got Horan and Mikolajczyk. Well, that's a slight issue in his heat, really costing him dearly, starting all the way down in 8th. Ham and Ross make up the last complete row. Eric Whitner rounds out your field here. 11 car grid across 30 laps. Of course, the full course cautions are employed during this. It's going to be interesting, and that could really shake things up. It has done previously as well.
No, yeah, it absolutely has. These cautions tend to breed more cautions. This is no different than any other racing, you know, when they say cautions breed cautions, because that just groups these guys up closer even, and track wear is important on almost anything you race, but when it comes to the dirt ovals, track wear is everything. And as this track, there are only 11 cars out here tonight, so we'll see how much of a quote-unquote blue groove there is at the end of the race. The blue groove is basically where all the dirt's worn away and it's just packed down, super tight dirt like asphalt. These cars do not like running on a dirt surface like that, so it's going to be interesting to see how much of that happens towards the end of the race. That also depends on how many cautions there are, because caution laps do not count.
So mention to one of our sponsors for this evening's racing, the Chet Durenic Kroenzer-Colitis Foundation. The Kroenzer-Colitis Foundation is a non-profit, volunteer-fueled organisation dedicated to finding cures for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, and improving the quality of life of children and adults affected by these diseases. You can find out more about them and their great organisation by heading across to Kroenzer-Colitis-Foundation.org. And there it goes, the pace truck. It's heading in. Howard and Garst leading everyone away as we get ready to go racing for the final time here at Lernerville. And it's green, green, green as Garst, well, gets a brilliant jump on Howard and heads straight up to that crucial high line there. As you see, Coates just left scribbling, trying to get the power down. Howard's gone high. They're all fighting in the midfield as well as Ham's dropped back early on. But I tell you what, Howard's managed to fend off the clutches of Coates, and that 407 who was on the attack and held on to that 2nd place for now. But Garst, well, running it to perfection, skimming the crest there of the banking every single time to absolute perfection. As you saw him just on the bit of the tag there in the foreground.
Ooh.
Amazingly, Mikolajczyk, he's made good progress. He's already up at 2 places. A good start, exactly what he would have hoped for, Adam.
Yeah, no, Paul is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's gotten, first of all, everybody stayed clean. That's the first big thing. Now he's trying to track down Mike Sorman. We did see in the qualifying, Paul is quick. But to get around that pink car, Mike Sorman, will not be easy because that guy knows how to run these dirt ovals. Josh Klog has also improved tremendously from the first race that we've had here in these dirt ovals. So those are 2 cars that Paul's going to have to navigate around. It's going to be extremely difficult as we do see this battle up here. Tyler Coates starting to come back here at Jimmy Howitt.
Yeah, he's definitely mounting a challenge, and this is playing right into the hands of Gasp. He's pulling away exactly what Howard will not be wanting. You can see just how close he is, but he's got to keep one eye on what's happening behind because Coates is maneuvering around, just dipping to the inside, trying to distract Howard and getting up close and personal to his 37 to come round the start-finish stretch there. Oh no, caution.
That's
With
Eric
23 to
Whitner.
go. What happened to Whitner? That is the big question. We're so oh, he's on his roof there on the inside. I don't know if you quite caught that on the camera. And he's crossing the pits, but here we go. This replay hopefully should give us some answers. There is Whitner in the 17. And oh, a bump there into the back of Irwin.
Oh!
Wow.
Oof.
That was Brennan Herr in the 45 there. He just collected on the way through, the innocent bystander in it all.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate there for Brennan, but it is what it is. And back up here looking at the caution, now Jimmy's going to have another chance. He's going to start on the inside line again, or the outside line this time, which is where Trey started in that first start, obviously, when they went green. This is going to be Jimmy's chance to maybe take that momentum away from Trey Garst and see exactly what he can do on this start. But, man, if we've been watching Trey, it doesn't matter where he starts, inside, outside, he is just quick.
He most certainly is. Of course, double-filed restarts at this stage of the race. It's not until we get inside 10 to go that we then down to single-file starts. You see everyone just starting to organise themselves. Of course, Scranton, Pennsylvania tends to have more of the fame due to The Office USA. Obviously, the remake of the where it all started back in the UK, thanks to Ricky Gervais. But this is where the action tonight is, in Pennsylvania, here at Lernerville, as Garst and Howard control the pace. We've got Garst on the inside, Howard on the outside. We are green once more. Howard on that key line on the outside.
Got loose.
He did, and that's going to cost him because, oh no, we've got a spinner. We're going to surely go into caution again. Oh, it's Ross. There we go. Yes, he's got it going, but we're back under caution. Didn't even make it through turn 1.
So it looks, yeah, we're going to watch this replay real quick and see what happens with Bobby Ross on the restart. I wonder.
I think they were just tripping up over one another. It made contact with Sporum, didn't he?
Yeah, he just really nothing either one of those drivers could have done. Bobby got into the back of Mike there and just spun him around. But, you know, we did see this at Limaland. As this track starts to wear out on these restarts, you're going to see the front end of these cars try to pick up as they grip up on a track that gets quite grippy as the dirt starts to wear off to a point. So that's just going to cause more issues for these drivers because right now they're able to full throttle it as the lights or as the track goes green. But man, when it starts to get grippier out there, they're really going to have to ease into the throttle on the restart, which is going to make for more overtaking opportunities. And we're already starting to see quite a few. I mean, we just saw them fan out 3 wide there, Tim, on that last restart.
Yeah, it was, you know, cars absolutely everywhere, and I think it's the danger on these restarts where the field just compresses up. You know, all it takes is one person just has to, you know, back out the throttle a bit more or touch the brakes, and it causes yeah, like the perennial motorway pile-up almost, where all of a sudden everyone's coming through at full tilt, has to make even more of an adjustment, and, well, so often you see incidents happen, and Ross, the casualty of that one, but everyone lining up once again. Pace truck pulls in as we get ready to go green with 22 to go here at Lernerville.
So Howitt, you can see, trying to get Trey to get a bit of a move on here and hold that pace speed, and here they go. Howitt seems to get a much better start that time. He's going to run that top line. It looks like Garst, man, he got up there close to the edge, but now Howitt's going to try for another switch back here. It looks like he's just going to let Trey have that position.
He nearly got him, didn't he? He got an absolutely blinding exit out of turn 2 on the run down to 3, but just couldn't quite make it stick. But I'll tell you what, Tyler Coates, he's coming along for, oh, wow, someone across the banking and into the forest. But we're not going to go yellow because that's nature of the circuit. We're still going to keep racing.
Yeah, I do believe that was Jake Ham, and man, my condolences to Jake Ham. Everybody, Jake was a good man. No,
I think it was Horan.
Oh, was it Brendan Horn? Oh, that makes it even better. Brendan was a really good man.
Yeah, well, that caught up in that one. As we are still green, 18 to go. Gas leads from Howard Coates. Mikolajczyk, he's coming back from the field. He's like Brendan hot knife through brother, but surely this is going to be yellow. Surely.
Yep.
Oh,
it is.
Coates.
He collects Tyler Coates. This is still green. You're kidding me right now.
Wow. Wow. I don't know how we've got away with that one. And that's the last thing that Howard would have wanted to see, because that gap is now to 1.2 seconds. You see Clog really locked in a battle with Mikolajczyk. Mikolajczyk trying to get up inside the podium positions. Of course, that disastrous heat race not helping him. So down in 8th as Mikolajczyk goes down to the low side, and he's going to get it done. But Clog on the switchback. Surely that 13, unlucky for some, is it going to prove lucky for him tonight in this battle for the last place on the podium here at Lernerville? But Mikolajczyk, he's made it stick.
Yeah, Clog is out here fighting tooth and nail for that position, but it looks like Mikolajczyk has finally cleared him. Next up the road is Jimmy Howitt, and man, if he can get to him, that would be a feat. He did have Tyler Coates behind him, but as you saw, that lap car, Jake Ham just came straight up the racetrack and got into Tyler. That's super unfortunate for Tyler, but everything stayed green. So right now, I think Jimmy's just focused on the second place, as we can see Trey Garsh just flying around the track.
Just spotted within the text track. Coates has referred to him as Buffalo Bill. So, well, there we go. There's some other bits in there that's not broadcastable, but we've got 11 to go here at Lernerville. The Gas still leads, and that gap is growing over Howard. Now it's nearly 1.5 seconds. However, he's got a comfortable gap behind him to Mikolajczyk, some 2.2 seconds. Oh, caution! We've gone yellow. That is, well, there comes the truck flying out.
They came out under, they came out under green, and it brought out a yellow flag. So if you cross that timing line, that entry-exit line for the pits, it will bring out the yellow flag. You can see that green cone up there. So that's what those guys did, and sat there and waited, and it brought out the yellow.
Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting. This is the last thing Gas would want it, but equally, on the flip side of the coin, this is exactly what Howard needed and wanted, because that gap to Gas was growing. It had grown to nearly 1.5 seconds. Equally, this has now brought Mikolajczyk right to the fight. He is now right up on top of our top 2, and now I'm just looking at the lap counter here, Adam. We're right on the cusp of single file restart versus double. I think because we're going to be inside 10 to go, I think this is going to be a single file restart, is it? Oh, no, it's not. We're going to go double file. Now, this is going to get really interesting.
Yeah, so it's still 11 to go. It will, again, caution laps don't count, so it's going to be 11 to go when they go racing. Give it one more lap, and everything will be single file. Jimmy really does have one more chance to get this right on Trey Garst, to get that lead into turn 1.
Ghastly hoping. Definitely, if not for a ghastly restart as we go green, green, green.
That is much better by Jimmy Howitt.
Oh no, Howard's
Whoa!
He's into the back of Mikolajczyk, and he's off into the forest. He's trying to keep hold of it. It's like a bucking bronco coming across the dirt, but he's straight down to the inside, trying to reclaim some places. But Mikolajczyk, he's onto the back of Garst, but Howard right down through the field, down to 6th. Just one tiny mistake costing him so dearly here. And everyone just making it through about now as Clog. He's locked in the battle with Sorum there. I know, probably Erwin, there's Sorum. He's out on the high line. He's going for a place on the podium, and he makes it stick. Finding grip out on that high line and getting the move done over Clog. But Clog says, no, you don't have it quite that easy. He fights back.
Well, that's Eric Whitner. He's battling a lap car right there. That number 17 is Eric Whitner that Mike is trying to clear and set off after Paul Mikolajczyk.
I didn't quite spot the number. It's because they both have similar digits, 13 and 17. Got me out there. It's just being very late here in the UK, but it's all good when you've got racing like this. 6 to go. Garst from Mikolajczyk. Saw him last place on the podium. There's Clock, Erwin, Howard, Ham. He's now a lap down. Whitner 2 laps down, and then we've got Ross, Huron, and Tyler Cates, who's looking like he's retired that car. Wow, Gus, I think surely, no, Adam, he's just got to just stroke it home, play it safe.
Yeah, just hope for no more yellows at this point, basically is what Trey Garst is doing. Has this in the bag. Paul Mikolajczyk is there, but he's really going to have to put in some heaters here for the next few laps to even think about getting close enough to Trey Garst to make this work. So yeah, Trey Garst just kind of driving around the track right now at the moment. Mike Sorum with a heck of a run. Up 2 positions from the start of the race, so he's done a great job. Eric, I believe that's up 2 positions. I can't really tell.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So Mike Sorum's done a great job. Eric Whitner's actually gained positions as well, even though he's 2 laps down. But no, great drive really from Mike Sorum. I think is going to be the best drive of the night. But right now, Trey Garst, 1 to go, and it looks like he's got this one in the bag.
Yeah, the white flag has flown. Lap turns 3 and 4 just to negotiate, and Garst is going to take victory here in Pennsylvania. Wow, he made it look so easy in the end ultimately, but Mikolajczyk, what a return from him. Started all the way down in 8th. He does a celebratory jump. He's off into the grandstand, the advertising hoardings there. Up 6 places. Great result for him to get himself onto the podium. We saw him. Well, he's going to be chuffed to bits with that one. As up into 3rd. I'm sure he would have taken that coming into this. Here are your classified results, though. Garst, victory from Mikolajczyk in 2nd, Sorum 3rd. Clog, he finishes it in 4th with Erwin and Howard. Well, only a temp separating those 2 at the high line, but Howard, he's going to be brewing that one for sure. Set up for 6th, but Ham, he's the first of the drivers not finishing on the lead lap. He was 1 lap down. Whitner 2 laps down in 8th. Ross, he was 5 laps down into the retirements. Brendan Huron, we lost 9 laps ago, and Tyler Cates 15 laps ago to round out your field.
Well,
wow. Wow. I think that's just all we can say, really.
Yeah, it was exactly everything I thought it would be, and more. I did expect a few more people to go flying off the ledge, but everybody kept it really clean, to be honest.
They did, didn't they? It was, a credit to the driver's skill, really. Maybe we're just clearly underestimating them, massively. But everyone managed to keep hold of things and keep it nice and clean. But I'll tell you what, let's have a little bit of a chat to a few of our drivers here before we round out the show. First off, with the victory here of not only his heat, but also the final, Trey Garst, congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow, it's definitely not the easy one. Jimmy Howard gave you a bit of a fight on the restarts, didn't he? Definitely didn't make things very comfortable for you.
No, he kept pace with me there for a little bit, and then I pulled away. I think I was up to almost a 1.4 second lead on him, and then yellow come out, and then I think he got slid by Paul there for second, or yeah.
Yeah, they had a bit of a coming together, not a major one. I mean, it was impressive. When you watch it back, it was impressive the way that Jimmy kept his foot in the game all the way on the opposite side of the banking. It was a spectacular fashion. But, I mean, when you saw those two coming together in your mirrors, surely it must have been a big weight gone from your shoulders.
I just kept my foot in it, and I just kept going.
Spoken like a true pro. A bit of a question. Obviously, are you going to remain? You're going to come out in a week's time. We're going to see you out on track as we head to Valencia.
Yeah, I plan to be there unless we get another last-minute decision to go racing here in real life. That was why I wasn't here last week. We decided to make a last-minute decision to go do some racing, and yeah.
And how did you get on?
What's that?
How did you get on? Obviously, when you went, well, I say real life racing a couple of weeks ago.
Trey, let me put this to you in American terms. How well did you do last weekend?
Oh, pretty good. I think second. Come up a spot short. Almost had the lead, but it is what it is.
I'm sure a lot of us would take second place. Before we let you go, Trey, anyone you want to give a shout out to at all?
Yeah, I got to give a huge shout out to ABR Setup Shops. Alex over there always takes care of me and gives me good tips. Tub Quality Threads, Trent Pullman Designs, iRacing Supply, and of course you guys, Apex Racing TV, for the great broadcast.
Absolute pleasure. When you put on great entertainment like this, it's always makes our lives a lot easier. That's Trey Garst, your victor here today in Pennsylvania. Adam, I believe you're standing by with another one of our drivers.
Yeah, I think I've got someone by the name. Well, I did. I think we're trying to drag each other in and out here. I'll go ahead and drag him in, John. I've got Paul Mikolajczyk here with me. Paul, congratulations on your second place there, buddy.
Thanks, Adam.
How'd it go? Because you kinda, no, I'm not kind of. You came out of nowhere, man. Up 6 positions from the start of the race. How were you able to get through all of those cars?
Just slicing and dicing.
I mean,
that's my abilities.
I can't really blame you for slicing and dicing. I would have done the same thing, but I would have probably sliced and diced a few cars off the track if I tried to do it. But yeah, man, congratulations on your second. There was one little incident we saw. He tried to slide Jimmy there. Did you think you were clear? How did that all go in coming from your side?
Well, I left him a lane to stay on the outside because I thought he was definitely higher than he was. But he had it pitched way more than I did, so when he throttled up, it just sent him down the track a little bit more. So it was more unfortunate, I think.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, you took second place. Was there ever a chance, if there would have been another caution, you think you could have tracked down Trey Garst?
I could check the lap times real quick. I think I might have been a little bit quicker than him at the end of the race there. No, we were on the same times. I doubt I was going to run him down unless there was a caution.
Yeah, well, it would have been a good one to see, but nonetheless, man, up 6 positions. We're going to Volusia next week, final race of the season. How are you feeling about it?
That's gonna be a little bit of a weirder track for these things because first of all, it's very bumpy. It gets really rutted down because it's a very dry track in general, and also the curve backstretch might be a little curve in these midgets. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you did there, but
yeah.
Anyways, man, anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to thank for making this happen for you?
I'd like to thank myself again for driving the car. I'd like to thank ABR Setup Shop and JRB. That's it.
Awesome. Well, Paul, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on your second place. We'll see you next week.
Well, I forgot to thank you, Adam. I thank you every week.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Paul.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Adam, I'll let you have the honours of taking the last interview with Mike Sorum.
I would absolutely love this one. Thank you so much, Tim. Mike, congratulations, my man. Third place.
Been a while since I've been on a podium here, it seems like.
Yeah, how'd you do it? You came up 2 positions from the start.
Oh, man. I had a little bit of issue with some lap traffic, but dirt oval tends to be one of my stronger suits, so I was ready for this track. I've run Lernerville quite a bit, and just avoiding wrecks and lap cars and ripping the lip, got her there.
So with that track starting to wear in, you know, we saw that outside line starting to blue groove pretty bad there towards the end of the race. Was that still the fastest line, or were you hunting around for a different line to take?
I kind of peeked inside a little bit a few times. I still think that outside line is faster, but it gets real dangerous. Like, I think I put a tire over on one of the later laps there, and I thought I was going to go over, but I luckily saved it.
Well, we saw a bunch of people putting tires over. You were just one of the lucky few that you weren't just a good man. You are still a good man. So
yeah, he was a good man. Yeah, I didn't do any hunting or fishing today, so that was my goal.
Yeah, Mike, congratulations on your 3rd place, my man. Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out for making it happen?
Yeah, all the fans, the broadcasters, Sheer Salon, and everyone that runs the league. It's a great league, and I love it.
Awesome. Well, we got Volusia coming up next week. How are you feeling about it?
I like that track. I think it should be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get after it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Mike, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Wow, Adam. As usual, blistering breakneck pace, quick laps, fast, furious action. And ultimately, I think, probably we've had our quickest driver take the victory in Trey Gus. But, I mean, having said that, Jimmy Howard, he was pushing really hard, and you got to feel for him. That one tiny incident cost him so dearly, and I think him finishing 6th really hasn't been a true representation of what we've seen here today.
No, it's not. It is extremely unfortunate, to be honest, for what happened to Jimmy, especially considering how close the points are at the top right now. So we'll definitely have to take a look at all of that. Stewards are definitely going to be taking a look at that incident to see what happened between him and Paul, because him and Paul are extremely close in the points right now. But that's not saying that they're still not next week. We've got one more race to go. We're at Volusia. And it's still all to play for. I mean, we've seen in these dirt midgets from the first time. Where was our first race? I think we were at Limaland, and man, every racetrack poses a different problem for these cars, but they are still, I think, one of the most difficult cars to drive in iRacing. So it should be a very fun last race.
Most certainly will it be indeed, and don't forget to tune in a week's time as we head to Volusia Speedway Park in Florida, the world's fastest half-mile track. It's going to be fun, to say the least. I've been Tim Cox with Adam Thompson. We've had Jonathan Grabowski in the production booth, and we'll see you in a week's time here at Apex Racing TV.